awesome things. We let love give us wings. It's the key, it's free, it's for you and me, you and me. So let us discover love's great wonder. Let's discover the spell we are under. Love, love. With Mililli, love. Hello. I'm Merlin Mililli. Welcome to the Love Show. Here at the Love Show, we grapple with the question, what is love? Today's show asks, is love Eros? So I knew Eros was a Greek word supposedly for love. But I did not know until I did my research for today's show that Eros is also a Greek god. So the Greeks have an entirely different word for sex, and it is Eros. But he is also a god. So not only do the Greeks have 5 words for every English word, they seem to also have 5 gods and maybe even 5 goddesses for each word as well. So Eros is the son of Aphrodite and Ares. He's also said to be born of chaos. So Aphrodite is sort of chaotic. She becomes jealous of this woman. She's a human. Her name is Psyche, and she is very beautiful and is gaining attention that Aphrodite wants for herself. So she's jealous of Psyche because she's getting attention from people that Aphrodite used to get attention from or would just like to get attention from, and she's not. So if that gives you some idea, Aphrodite is a Greek goddess. She's said to be the Greek goddess of love. I always heard love wasn't jealous. But I guess it can be. But anyway, so Aphrodite is jealous of Psyche, and she orders her son, Eros, remember Eros, and she orders her son, Eros, to shoot Psyche with one of his arrows and make her fall in love with a hideous creature. So Eros goes to her, Psyche, to shoot her with one of his arrows, and he's so distracted by her beauty that he shoots himself with one of his arrows, and he falls in love with Psyche accidentally. So she's been pledged to this hideous creature by her family, and it turns out to actually be Psyche, or it turns out to be Eros. So he secretly becomes her husband because she's betrothed to him, even though he's not a hideous creature. He's a god. He's a god. Anyway, so he told her, well, she made a promise to him that their love, though, had to be kept in the dark. Like, he could only see her at night, and he would go to her at night, and they enjoyed much pleasure together. So Psyche's jealous sisters tell Psyche that since she can't see her husband in the daytime, she should grab a knife and light a candle and stab him. It's not very nice. But she lights a candle and holds a knife to him, and she's unsuccessful. She doesn't stab him. And of course he awakens angry, and he leaves her for trying to kill him and for not keeping her promise to keep their relationship in the dark. So Psyche ends up seeking shelter with Aphrodite at her temple. With Aphrodite? Remember Aphrodite? She hates Psyche. That's the last place I would go if I were Psyche. But she goes there, and Aphrodite's still jealous, and so Aphrodite decides she could stay, but only if she completes these impossible tasks. She gives her these tasks that are just impossible, and Psyche has friends in high places. She's got a lot of other gods and goddesses looking after her as she goes about completing these tasks, and she completes all the tasks. She has some help, but she completes all the tasks, though they were impossible. And it makes Aphrodite angry, and so she tells Psyche that she has to go see Hades in the underworld to ask Queen Persephone for more beauty, so Aphrodite can restore her beauty. So she goes. She goes to the underworld, Psyche does, and Persephone gives her a box to give Aphrodite that apparently has beauty spilling out of it. And Psyche decides on the way back to Aphrodite that it'd be okay for Psyche to have some beauty for herself. So she opens the box, and this dark mist comes out to kill her, essentially. But her husband's a god, and Eros, and he scoops her up whole before the god of death came to get her, and he brings her before Zeus to ask that he marry her in the eyes of the gods. And so they were married again, and Psyche was offered ambrosia, nectar of the gods, and their union created a goddess. Hedone, I think her name is. The goddess of pleasure. Where Bacchus was the god of good time, Hedone was the goddess. So that is sex. Pleasure. They are talking about sex. And these are gods and goddesses of sex, not love. I don't know why we defined them that way. Americans and humanity just seem to like to confuse the two. I personally feel the need to separate them. If the Greeks, though, thought they were the same thing, why have different words? Why have different gods and goddesses for it? If you look up who is the Greek god of love, Google says it's Eros. None of the other words for love in Greek are also a god or goddess, however. There's agape, which is a more modern, more Greco-Christian term for pure love, no sex, pure spirit of God. There's philia, love among friends, platonic love. Storge is natural, maternal, unconditional love. Zinnia, I love that word, by the way. Would make a great name, like a little girl, Zinnia. It's pretty. Anyway, Zinnia is hospitality or charity. So why do we Americans define the Greek god of love as Eros if Eros is the god of sex? Because the Greeks did not seem to have a god of love. If you Google the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite comes up. Aphrodite. Remember Aphrodite? Eros' mama. The one who put Psyche through hell and back, quite literally. Hades ruled the underworld. Hell, essentially. That is not very loving. I think Psyche is the better goddess of love, in my opinion. She comes up as the goddess of spirit, interestingly. Is spirit love? Another love show, perhaps. If you look up the English word psyche, Merriam-Webster defines it as a princess who fell in love with Cupid. It's funny, Cupid is a Roman god or character. Anywho, 2, we were defining psyche. This is number 2A. In all caps, soul, personality. Both of them. Soul, comma, personality. Both in all caps. And then B, the totality of elements forming the mind. And it says in parentheses, see mind, in all caps, MIND, entry 1, sense 2. So I can't resist. But I cannot find mind, MIND, in all caps at all. I do find it in lowercase, and it's defined as, and this is Merriam-Webster still, recollection, all caps, memory, all caps. And then this is even weirder. 2 backslashes, and it says, keep that in mind. And then 2 more backslashes, and time out of mind. That is very weird to me. Do you find that weird out there? I find that very weird. What is with the words in all caps, Merriam-Webster? Are these special words defined in a special dictionary that can be yours for only $999? So Eros, remember Eros? Eros having an arrow is an interesting concept. We've been discussing peace a lot in love shows, and a Native American symbol for peace is the broken arrow. Born of chaos, shoots arrows, only shows up for sex. No, not peace, not beauty, not love. Sounds like a bad date. We here at the Love Show again and again find that sex is not love. In our Is Love hormonal episode, we found no, real love is not hormonal, not sex. In our Is Love elemental or just mental episode, we found that sex, Eros, is what makes us mental. Love keeps us sane and is elemental, so not Eros. So I have to say no. I feel we should not define Eros as love. Or even as the god of love at all. He's the god of sex. We could give him that, but not the god of love. I think that is what happened to ancient Greece and perhaps Rome as well. Why they fell? There was no love. Kind of like our current societies, governments. There really seems to be no love, no consciousness. That's the major problem. There is no love. Jerry Garcia saying, without love in the dream, it'll never come true. I feel that's true. Without love, things crumble. They don't last. Empires fall, crushed under their own greed. What is love? It's not Eros. I just feel that Eros is not love anymore. Maybe once he was. He's depicted as a beautiful angel in art. Is he the story of the fallen angels? The Old Testament and the myths intertwine sometimes. The Old Testament speaks of this very thing, fallen angels, who bed human women. Where the myths intersect with the Old Testament. Those places interest me. I find truth there, and maybe love, Is there love there where they intersect? Where the truth might be? Another love show. So I say no. Love is not Eros. But get out there and love. The world really seems to need it right now. Really love. I love you. Thanks for watching. Love. Love. You play it on your car horn. Beat for love. Mililli. Love. Thanks for watching. I love you. A Mililli Studios production.